team with Shannon and Sean, talking about life and everything in between. The token ones see it differently. Yeah, token one for the team. This is Shannon and Sean, keeping things light. The token ones in the group. That's right. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride right now. And enjoy the ride right now.
She was with she was clearing out some sort of office block, and her boss was like, "Would your husband like this for his podcast?" And Amy's like, "I'll take it."
Absolutely, yeah.
And she's like, "Do you want some lights?" I was like, "Aye, I'll take some lights." And I was like, "These are fucking good lights."
Absolutely, yeah.
Nothing to mount them on, so it's all like, I mean, you made the comment earlier on, this is like a proper ground roots ghetto setup that we've got.
Well, it's good though. It's how you start things.
The equipment.
Yeah, we
absolutely,
had to duct tape an iPhone to do it.
I know.
Then hopefully it stays up the process. So yeah.
Hello.
Welcome back to
Token
One for the team. And
Hello.
We've
as
got
you can hear, as you can hear, we have a third person with us today.
I know.
Very special guest.
Strongest moustache in the northeast.
Absolutely. We've been wanting him on for a while, have we?
Yeah, we've been going back and forth for a wee while.
Yeah, is it yourself I talk to over the Instagram, or is it a mixture of both?
It's a mixture of both.
Okay, yeah.
When Sean decides to log on to Instagram, it'll be Sean.
Every so often I'm like, Shannon, I've logged myself back out of the thing, and what's the password again? All right, thanks. Yeah, I'm not allowed anywhere near like your Instagrams, your Facebooks, your TikToks. I'm worried I like things.
You're worried that you like things too much, or you're worried that,
just in general. Yeah.
Just in general, yeah.
I fuck up our algorithm or something, and it's just boobs, butts, and
I'm with you.
babes,
okay, yeah, absolutely, yeah. It's less comedy and more perversion that comes through it. Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely.
So do you want to introduce yourself?
Sorry, we should do that.
Yeah,
I'm doing an introduction.
Sean just goes. Do you want to give yourself a little introduction to tell our audience who you are?
Oh, well, my name is Marc Ross. I'm a comedian based in the Highlands of Scotland in Inverness. So, I've been doing comedy for around 2 years or so, mostly based in the sort of Inverness area. But recently, over the last probably coming on to a year or so, I've been getting myself out and about, coming around Scotland essentially. So,
nice.
Aberdeen, Dundee, Perth, various places. So,
what got you into it? Because I know I've been up to Inverness. I did the Tutors Comedy Club.
Oh, did you? Yeah,
way back in the day.
Is that a real name?
Tutors Comedy Club. Well, right. No, it's no longer. It's not actually running anymore.
No.
But but there's still very much a scene in Inverness. But no, Tutors was very much a thing. It's funnily enough, I went along to a few Tutors gigs just as a punter, like that. Okay. Very well, I've seen you, sort of thing. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Yeah, but
the only brown guy in the well, saying that it was an Italian, wasn't it?
What, the restaurant?
The restaurant? Yeah.
Spanish, yeah.
Spanish.
It's a La Tortilla, sorry.
Oops.
Pale.
Is paella Spanish?
Paella.
It's a paella, yeah. You see, they got that big bowl thing.
Like a bucket of like paella. Like, I can't pay you, but here's some
paella.
Nice.
I was like, okay.
It's more paid in paella.
Yeah.
It's more than what I got last time I performed.
Oh,
yeah, on that whenever. No, there is still there's a gig starting up again there soon, actually. Nice. So it's a nice little venue. So it's a cool little room, isn't it?
It is a cool little room. It is different. Like, what a mission for getting up to Inverness though, because I was like, that's way closer than me going to Glasgow or Edinburgh. It's just as far.
It's
well, from Aberdeen anyway. Like Aberdeen, like to get from Aberdeen to anywhere is dog
shit.
Seems
like a trek.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's along the N6 Inverness, obviously. It's where you sort of said that we're 2.5 hours to Aberdeen. We're about 3.5 to Glasgow, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's not much further to go somewhere like that. Yeah.
No.
But I think you were asking how I got into it originally, and it's like I say, going along to the Tutors gigs, just obviously been a fan of stand-up anyway, sort of thing. And watching these guys do it, and I always had the sort of feeling in myself, I really want to give this a try. And the sort of the
curiosity,
the curiosity, but then the overriding sort of anxiety of, oh no, I don't know if I do, sort of thing, which fills us all sometimes. But so I sort of put it on and put it up, and a local guy in the scene, he set up a writing workshop. Kieran, his name is. He set up a workshop at another venue, and it was more for it was for beginners to go along and write some stuff, try it out, and that. So it was a nice way to dip my toe in.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, so I think it was June 2023, I think it might have been. I had my first show at
nice.
Revolution in Inverness.
Nice.
Upstairs.
Revolution.
It's no longer open, unfortunately.
Nice.
It's been turned into something else, another bar. But it was a Rev upstairs. There had a wee room up there, so it was a great little night they used to have there. But it's unfortunately no longer. But that's where I started out my first gig. So it was,
Do you remember the anxiety of diarrhea sitting in your belly?
Totally, man. I know it's getting up there. Get up there. The host takes you on very gently, sort of thing. Oh, this is this guy's first time, that sort of thing, and that's meant with the best will in the world, isn't it? But of course, then you're sort of thinking, oh no, now they know I'm
a newbie.
Totally, yeah. So you've got that. You step on. Got my first wee laugh, and I sort of think, all right, that's settled me a bit. It's turned. I talk quite fast naturally, as you can maybe tell. So but it was. Slow down, try and breathe, just try and get the heart rate to come somewhere below 200. And
to be fair, I think that's my problem as well. I talk naturally fast. We got this AI app at work, and it documents how many words a minute you do. And a lot of my colleagues from England, and top of the leaderboard, here I was, 220 words a minute.
Oh,
yeah. So I totally get. So when you're doing stand up, often my feedback is that was just a wee bit too quick. So it is trying to slow it down, but. Do you remember that feeling you got after you got that kind of like first laugh?
Oh, yes, totally. It's well, I work in the construction trade, and like if you're sitting there and you're chatting to your colleagues, you're having a chat, you crack a wee joke, it gets a laugh. You get this wee feeling of, I've even made my mates laugh, sort of thing. You're like that sort of thing. But to go in front of a crowd and all right, these guys, that worked. Okay, right. Let's try this. Let's try that. And but you've got the total reverse end of the scale when it doesn't quite go to plan, and it's absolutely down your arse as well. So it's it's polar opposites, isn't it? So it's
I've said to Shannon, that's my favourite times.
I know, but I can never wrap my head around that.
Just like, I don't know, I just like sitting in, like, when...
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, when you've gone so far left and you've gone, this is no working, and now I've got to try and win these guys back. Like, I don't know how long you're, in terms of your sets, and when you start doing like 20-minute sets or something, there's going to be you just know there's going to be a dip at some point. You're trying something new. I used to try and sandwich. I said to you, I haven't done stand-up in about a year. Just with like other commitments. Shannon, she takes an awful lot of work. But,
I'm probably worse than your 3-month-old daughter, to be fair.
The punamis from Shannon is colossal.
It's not great.
But yeah, like, I used to try and sandwich it, try and give myself a little bit of a breather, so like piece of material I knew worked, crap, like, or trying something new than new material. But then the worst thing would happen is the thing that I thought was working all the time, it dies on its own. And then the bit of new works, you're like, what the hell is going on? Yeah. It's just this total mystery you're working through all the time. So do you write things out? Like, how's your process for getting on stage?
For actually coming up with material, for doing like new material, for example. No, well, at work, sometimes I'll be sitting there, just an idea pops into your head, or even just walking down the street, or just, yourself, like, I'll be there's something in my head there, right? Let's just put that in the notes. The notes app on my phone is just like a thesaurus of stupid words, honestly. Or just
mine looks like a trash can, like a rubbish bin, just so much crap in that notes app.
Totally, yeah. I look through it sometimes, I just think, what happened there? It's just totally disbelief. But anyway, it's but do that, and then just even just sit in the van at lunchtime or sitting at home at night, just let's try and make that work. Write some stuff up, and then I'll try and get. Open mic sort of stuff. It's totally okay to go up with your phone. You've got your note. You can be referring to your notes. That's cool, sort of thing. Yeah. Get it in your head a couple of times, and I've been trying to step away from using notes as much on even open mics. So just trying to get. I spoke to someone. He was saying, how do you like? Asking for advice on how to actually memorise the stuff. So I think, well, at the end of the day, you don't need to. It's not a script you're writing. It's not it doesn't need to be word for word exactly the same every time. So like even just how the joke starts. The funny bit which makes it funny at the end. Yeah. You wrote it.
Well, that's it. It's your story.
Exactly. Yeah. So whether
it's a joke or
whether you say it, and it's better to. It's obviously you cut the shit out of it and just get to the good stuff.
Trim
and
the fat
a few words. Trim the fat, like you say exactly that. Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah, no, that's like that was a bit of the process, like the amount of bits that I came up with when I was like, what the fuck are we saying here? And then you say something else, and you're like, oh, that got a pop, or there was a crackle here, and you build from that. Like, sometimes I used to forget, and I'm missing it. I was driving over here, I was missing because I was starting to think of something to write down, and I've written it down. I thought, fuck, that is something. And then you're desperate to take it to stage. Like, I want to see this pops. I want to see this work.
For sure, yeah.
Because I'm so self-deprecating. None of my stuff to me is fun. I look back and go, what? Are you an idiot? Why would you? Why? I've lost joke books that I used to write down. I'm like, somebody finds this. Like,
totally, yeah.
I'm going to jail.
Like, there's a hate crime against myself in there. I'm like,
there's a cell waiting for my name.
God.
But we did talk a bit about obviously your first gig and getting your first laugh, and how it went, and obviously getting that buzz and stuff. But do you remember like a specific moment? Kind of, obviously, you said you've been doing it since like 2023, where it's really kind of stuck in your memory. The gig went amazing, or it's kind of like shaped who you are as a comic.
Sorry, so a gig which I've really, that's
Has there been like one specific in your mind that's kind of like shaped your whole approach since you kind of started?
Yeah, well, myself, quite fittingly, we're in Aberdeen just now at the Aberdeen Fringe last year. Myself and 3 other comics from the Inverness area, Mike Lynn, Dan Sherwood-Clark, and Robert McGregor, who runs Monster Comedy with me now. We put on a split sort of show at the Fringe there, and it was the Saturday night of that. I think there was about 50 in the room. It was packed. There were people standing at the back. It was absolutely.
Were you up the stairs?
No, we went.
Lodge.
It was through.
Was it like the workshop, the old workshop?
It was downstairs. You went past. There was a big sort of grand sort of ballroom area where bands were playing on the right. So you passed that, and you went up. You went up a little flight of stairs, maybe 7 or 8 stairs, and then through a sort of back area. But it was the room was packed. Everyone got a great sort of response. It's if you could stick it in a baggie and sell it as a drug, you'd be the richest man in the world. That feeling getting off stage, it's unreal. Like honestly, it's that there or I don't. It's stepping off that. It's getting off the stage after a great gig. There's no feeling like it, is there? It's unreal. Like I'd say so. That my earliest memory of wow, that was amazing was probably that show there at the Aberdeen Fringe Festival. I would say, and to do it alongside a few of your mates as well, it's even better, And out that night is just I'm a rock star. It's just unreal.
Someone's like, do I recognise you? Like, well, actually, like, I'm sure you're Jimmy 20 quid. Like,
That's it.
What was your like? I've not. So yesterday, I'll come to it. Shannon says, "Oh, how long have you known Marc?" She's like, "I fucking thought you knew him."
She said to you?
Yeah.
Never met you in my life.
I was like, I've never met the guy in my life. She was like, I thought you met this guy. And I was like, no. I was like, thank fuck we're doing it in your apartment. But I was because a lot of the guys that we've interviewed and stuff, like I've seen their style of comedy, like they're mega. I can go, all right, I can see who you've not making yourself out of, like as time goes on, like you become your own performer. I know who influenced me, inspired me. Although it's my material, so like there's a guy that I used to gig with. And anytime I went down to, I think it was Perth, I'd seen him, and he was the smallest, whitest guy I've ever in my life. But he used to talk like Chris Rock.
Going over a motherfucker.
What the hell?
I was sitting there, he was like, like sometimes. I was like, oh my word. He used to wear like a biker jacket and stuff. I've not seen him in years.
So random.
Yeah, it was mega random. And I used to love meeting other comedians and different styles and why they're doing what they're doing. Like, who's been the big influence for you coming? Like, because I know the moment I was like, oh, hold on a second. There's somewhere in Aberdeen we can do this. I'm going to go and try that. I knew who was it inspired me, and I was like, I'll start writing things down. Who was it for yourself?
Well, I mean, growing up in that, everyone says Billy Connolly. That's of course for me. But my mum and dad always had videos which I've been sneaking every watch it, that sort of thing. I wouldn't say my comedy anything like his sort of thing. That'd be an awful thing to say, wouldn't it? I'm as good as him. You would never say that, would you? But no, growing up, I was watching a lot of stuff. Even your Frankie Boyles and stuff like that. I loved watching him. I used to watch a lot of Mock the Week, but I seen him personally, and I started trying to write when I started off going in trying to write stuff a little bit sort of naughty, a little bit darker, and that sort of stuff. And started thinking, I'm just being nasty here. Like, this isn't right, you know. And sort of, I think it's something everyone sort of thinks. Oh, I'll just go up and I'm going to say something horrible, and people are going to laugh because it's my right to do it. No, not at all. What the likes of Frankie Wilnut do is a very fine art. You know, it's making it horrible but making it work, sort of thing. But it's trying to go in and try and say, all right, I'm just going to say that this is a little bit dark, I'm going to try and do that sort of thing, but it doesn't work always necessarily. It's a hard thing to master. But my style now is nothing like I would say anything
what
that
you thought it would be.
Oh, totally. No, I came out with like watching even say the likes of him, watching your Ricky Gervaises, watching your people like that there, a little bit Jimmy Carr, for example, a lot of stereotypically darker comedians, you know, and
that's so interesting though, that like that you really enjoy kind of the more savage, let's say, comics. Because I've seen you at Love Comedy. And I think that is such a true example of what you've just said there, is that you can watch them and really enjoy their comedy and go, all right, I'm gonna try and be a wee bit darker. And then you get up on stage and go, oh, well, actually, doesn't really fit who I am or the personality or the audience, or maybe not believe in it as such.
Totally that,
So it's really interesting that maybe your styles, you maybe really love watching that, but your style's different.
Absolutely that,
that's so interesting.
I mean, I can listen to music which is a little bit heavy. Of course. I can listen to music which is a little bit heavier, but being totally honest, I play the bagpipes. So there's something.
I'm sitting here like,
I
do,
I was, you came in, I was like, I think this guy plays the bagpipes.
I think
it was your moustache. Either that.
The famous moustache.
Your moustache. I think something I was pitching, I was like, I think this guy should be naked wearing an apron with like an easel in front of him. Like, my mind was working overdrive.
That's
you're gonna go away and get a restraining order against Sean now.
Or you might get him back as a guest. I might turn around and it was a wee surprise.
There's your podcast idea, man naked in an apron.
Naked apron. I don't know. Something like that. Yes. Naked apron chat. Apron chat. Yeah, exactly.
Jamie Oliver's already done that. Right? Was Jamie Oliver not famous for being like the naked chef?
The naked comic. There you go.
Naked comic.
Nailed it. I'll do a cooking show. Yeah.
I didn't know that's what you.
That's so interesting. You play the bagpipes.
No, I do. Yeah.
Have you always done that?
Well, since I learned it, one of my mates. Coming to primary school, you probably know yourself. You learn the practice chanter and all that, and so doing that, he was you know, you want to do what your best mate does in school, don't you? So not to say that I wasn't interested in it, but he was definitely an influence in wanting to learn them and that. So I went along because my mate was doing it, and learned started playing the pipes then at first year of secondary school.
Cool.
And I mean, they've fallen by the wayside a bit now, but I was
talking blower.
I can blow like no man. Honestly, I can see me when I get going. Like, just
I wonder if there's like a can you imagine a gay wedding? Just like a bunch of guys like, fuck, look at those lips go.
Absolutely, yeah. What I could do with him, look at that Jimmy. Squeeze my bag and blow me harder. That's the one.
Jeez.
No, I played the pipes at a boxing match down at the O2 Arena with one of my mates. Was boxing. He was
oh my god.
He was playing down there. So that was quite the experience. Standing there. There's about 14,000 people supporting.
Wow.
Not my mate. All English chaps coated up to the eyeballs thinking, who's this? Giving it Florida, Scotland, picking apart.
Who's your mate?
Gary Cornish, boxer. He fought up Josh. I didn't too. So it was that fight there.
Was it last year?
Oh no, it was I don't know. I watched it. Jesus, pushing about 10 years ago, probably.
Wow. That's what I experienced.
No, totally.
Wow.
It was,
and now you're like, I want to do comedy at the O2.
Exactly that.
Is that the dream?
Well, I mean, it's a big step ahead, isn't it? But I mean, we could all say, but well, maybe it's not. You're making a face there, which tells me maybe it's, I don't know. Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I mean, I thought, I think you were hinting at what's your sort of dream, your goal there you're going towards. I mean, like, I see people like your MacArthur boys like that, Roscoe McClellan, people who are really smashing it in the Scottish scene, you know. I would like to become like a good sort of name. My sort of term, my current sort of goals, I would think, I was really good if I became that sort of recognised name in Scotland sort of thing. Sure. Someone like, Marc Ross, he's that good comedian from Inverness, you know. Where anyone interested in comedy in Scotland would say that'd be a sort of, that'd be a nice sort of thing, you know, something like that. But then, going on to play sort of, you never know, it's all connections and stand-up, isn't it? Like, people it just takes to speak to one person, then he's in your area tonight, he's looking for someone, you know, something like that. So you never know, absolutely, we're saying about it was the O2. It was going down and doing something like that there. It was to look at a venue that size. Like, for example, I believe to I'm pretty sure I've looked back and tried to do my research on this. I think I'm the first solo piper to play in the O2 Arena.
Oh, that's quite the claim to fame.
Paul McCartney does the McIntyre, but he takes the full pipe band down. So that's exactly that. Yeah, that's easier. You got a whole bunch of like sort of thing. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, so I'll shake your hands after that.
Get full framed.
Oh shit! I'll shake your channel. But it's funny. I was thinking there as well, like, with the bagpipes and stuff. If you were not Scottish and you removed yourself from being Scottish, is the worst sounding thing ever. But as soon as you are Scottish, there's a switch and you're like, I'm going to win.
My heart fills with pride. You're ready to take on anyone.
Yeah. I've seen like grown men cry. Like, I'm like, fuck, it's good. It's just this is my funeral song. Every Scottish guy's got a funeral song that comes off a bagpipe. It's so strange. And like, and they're talking about like World War III and all that happening. Like, how are they gonna get like people to sign up and blah blah blah? You just need to be outside.
Watch Braveheart.
You need to get in front of an AFCO, right? An Armed Forces Careers Office. Have a guy playing the bagpipes.
And in fairness, though, back then in the days of William Wallace, it was a recognised terrifying weapon of war, the bagpipes. If I stand there in the front line in Russia, I don't think Putin's going to care when he fires a missile at my head, is he? It's not really going to have the same terrifying.
No,
maybe it will, though. Maybe that's the secret.
Into the top of the pipe.
Turn eye. That'd be like something in a film. Like, you just
But also, Mel Gibson's Australian. Can I just like?
What do you say?
Really gets me. People love Braveheart so much.
Yeah.
But Mel Gibson's Australian.
Totally that. I know. Yeah.
And you're like.
I mean, he's the face of Scotland.
Yeah, he is.
Stick him on the banknotes.
It's not a great one.
It's Sword Beach, Second World War. There was there was a German
history
input of a crazy deviled Scottish guy on top of a rock playing a bagpipe.
There you go. So, World War III, it might be me. So
yeah.
Can you imagine?
Just you at the O2, yeah.
Just me.
Crowd of 14,000.
14,000.
This is what I'm in. Coming up with your best dick joke. Like, oh, come on,
I can do this as well, man. Yeah, totally. Yeah. No, it was, you mentioned about the pipes there and how to anyone else they may be the worst sound ever sort of thing. But went to a Scot. I was once it was a local nursing home, an elderly care home. They had an open day and they were looking for a piper. And I happened to, as a Sparky, had been doing some work there before. So the Sparky, he plays the pipes, get him in sort of thing. So I'm playing away and. There's a couple of old wifeys in the front row, if you will.
Yes. Throwing their knickers at you.
Oh, totally. They're all. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Let's keep it clean. They were playing the pipes, and there's some wifeys in the front row, and one of them starts just howling, crying out. She doesn't like it. I'm sort of thing. So I sort of tailed back, sort of finished my tune and sort of stuff. And she starts going, I see the hands going, no, more. And one of the nurses came over to me and she started saying, turns out she's totally deaf, the woman. But the pipes were that loud. It's the first music she's heard in years, in over 10 years sort of thing. And there's a man across the room crying as well. And I was like, is he the same? No, he thinks you're shite, he says. Stop. He's like, I know, I can make him stop.
Giving out poor PTSD.
He's got sensitive hearing.
No, but that was quite nice.
That's
cool.
And I'm playing my wee tune in my eye there. I'm turning that big softy.
Highland Cathedral, kind of.
Totally that. Yeah.
Highland Cathedral. That's my funeral song.
I was waiting to hear what yours would be.
Yes, definitely. It's Highland Cathedral.
Highland Cathedral. Very good. Well, Mark can do it for
you. Totally. And if I die first, you can do stand-up or something. Do you play any? You can play my bagpipes. How about that? Then it's on camera. You've all heard it there first. That's it.
I'll be like Ross and Fred.
That actually would be you though.
Yeah.
But yeah, you mentioned earlier to kind of go back away from the chanter talk. That you started Monster Comedy.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that and how it started and that kind of thing?
Absolutely. Well, myself and my mate Robert McGregor, who you met at Love Comedy.
That's such an ever-used name, Robert McGregor.
Yeah, it's very Scottish themed.
I love when I'm hosting. You can put a real bit of swaz. Robert McGregor. There's a little bit of rolling your R's, isn't there? A lot of that. But no.
Dark west from Nigeria. Robert McGregor. Yeah, nothing like you thought. He's not. I never met Robert. I'm sure he's
He's
white?
very white.
He's very white. Okay.
Aye, he's from the white part of Nigeria.
Inverness.
What part of Nigeria, probably, mate? Aye, Inverness. Yeah, that's
Sorry.
it.
Sorry.
Yeah. Aye, Monster Comedy. Is that what we're saying? Was it?
Yes.
Me and Robert went up and down the road and that, and I was thinking we're meeting lots of cool people and that, like yourself, for example. So doing different things and that. So it'd be nice to the Inverness scene. It's a very good scene, but it's a lot of local acts. Guys just from Inverness sort of thing. As you say yourself, there in the Tuchter's days, there was a lot of guys sort of come out doing gigs and that. So we're sort of thinking it'd be nice to the people that are meeting on the road sort of thing, guys from various areas. It'd be nice to when we're coming down to their areas doing gigs. It might be nice maybe if we can get someone to come up to our area and just share each other's scenes, sort of build each other's scenes a bit more than that. So that was the sort of initial sort of idea, and it's gone on to we had what was it, our first sort of gig as Monster Comedy. We did do it with just local acts. We done it at the Benmore Hotel in Granton-on-Spey. Went really well. It sold out. Yeah, I think it was 50 odd in sort of thing. It was really good. So we had a nice tightly packed room there. It was really good reactions and all that. We since done a second night at the Benmore Hotel in Granton, and it was by Martin Byrne. Do you know Martin Byrne from? So I first met him at it was in Aberdeen as well. Actually. It's been a right place for I've met people in Aberdeen. It was Jamie Tate's rock opera gig.
Oh yeah,
we love Jamie. Where was it? The Mariner? No, is it the Mariner Hotel or was it a gig for a gig for a school? I want to say the Mariner Hotel somewhere in Aberdeen. So it's probably not that at all. It'll go something totally different. But I met Martin there. So we had him up doing the Monster Comedy gig last month again at the Benmore. We had our first night in Inverness was there back in November, but it's just been announced we're getting an open mic on the go in Inverness, so we're going to really open it out, try and get whoever we might be able to tempt yourself back in, Sean. You never know, get you back up as well. Maybe you can take the token podcast on the road. Inverness.
Talked about it for a while. We'd love to do like a live show and stuff, and just try to figure out the structure of it. Dude, I'm so hungry. I don't know. Sorry, Miss Mike's gonna pick up my stomach.
She would come for us for a romantic Burger King. Yeah, exactly.
Burger King. Yeah. So wait, you were set like. I don't know, Sean. You were doing gigs. You were setting them up and doing like maybe like once a month kind of thing, and now you've got an open mic on the go. Well, yeah. Have you got a home for it?
But it's the first show we done in Inverness, we done it as a sort of it was a ticketed show, so they shut off the bar area to let us put it on. It was really busy, so we had it was only a £5 entry. It was nice. It was good value. That's what we were getting. But,
definitely.
We really packed it out. We got some really good feedback, but they're sort of saying there was a lot of the older regulars, if you will. I'm not paying a £5 to come and sit in my own local pub and all that, giving it that sort of thing, But I know a £5, it's the price of a pint. Come on, boys. But
a pint? What are you drinking? Schlager.
I know. Schlager. I know. What's a pint in Aberdeen? I was at the Fringe, man. I was fucking.
Wetherspoons, £1.95.
The Fluke's a classy drink. Maybe come the Fluke like guy. Is that what it is? Yeah.
What? I was like £7 odd for a pint of neck oil last time I was out.
Neck oil?
Jeez,
yeah. We were on the, what's the place? Is the Ivy Lodge? Is that the one? Yeah. They've got the Jubel. I tried that. It's brilliant. Jubel. So good, yeah. I know. I've had it in a can a few times, but the pints of that was beautiful in there. But we've digressed from what we're saying.
Yes.
About the price of £5 a pint. So that's what we're saying. A few of the old guys in the pub were sort of giving it a £5 to come and sit a bunch of guys I never heard of in the pub that I drink, and everybody's fine. Who do you think you are, sort of thing. Give it that. So we sort of said, maybe we can do a free entry, and we can do it as sort of it'll be a bit looser, a bit more sort of fun, just not a strict sort of this is what's happening sort of thing. That's good. Leave it open to anything sort of thing. So which of course lands in. There's a bit of jeopardy then, of course, with it's in a pub, anyone can walk in, anything can happen, sort of thing. But that's what you're up against sometimes at an open mic, isn't it?
Yep.
So that's terrible. I think it's next. Is it the 11th?
What did you send?
Insert the date at the bottom.
Yeah, we'll put it in.
Ideal. Yeah,
absolutely.
So how did you meet Robert? To go back to
Robert McGregor from the Highlands. From
Nigeria. How did you guys originally meet? Because you seem really pretty from when I met you, love comedy. You seem really close.
Well, I was on a gap year in Nigeria.
Oh my god!
We're on the naughty souls. Yeah. That's a brilliant video. That must be 10 years plus. That video still lives in the head. Oh no, it's all TikTok now. They don't know they're living. These guys. No, we met. Just in the Inverness scene. We just doing open mics, doing gigs together, and I was always keen to sort of get up and down the road doing gigs, and Robert was really keen to do it as well. So we've been just car sharing between us sort of thing. I'll do it this time. We're trying to get away sort of like once a month, maybe a little bit more sort of thing. So just taking a time about really just right, you go to Glasgow, I'll go to Edinburgh, you do Aberdeen, just whatever. It's just sort of just
that's cool.
So just doing that really, and you know yourself, comedy is a thing that you start sort of kidding yourself on, it's a hobby, and it does start just a wee hobby, something you're doing every now and then sort of thing. It becomes a hobby which slowly starts taking over your whole life and your every other thought, doesn't it? So I text him more than a lot of my closest mates, and he's become a close mate of mine, so it's nice that you can meet people through comedy in such a way like that, and just start working together and really bouncing ideas off each other and all that. So yeah.
And what's it like?
You like him so much he's on this podcast with you.
Exactly that. You only had one microphone.
Exactly.
I was going to say, out of shot, you're not seeing the carnage.
Told and strong. So what's it like kind of travelling up and down Scotland for gigs? Do you have any kind of like memorable road trip stories, and has everyone that you've gone to, like the clubs and things you've gone to, have they all been pretty welcoming, or have you found it?
I'm trying to think now. What was our first one away? I think it was our first, was it Aberdeen? I can't remember. It's they all blend into my head's like mash. They all blend into one big road trip, But keep on hitting this mic.
That's right.
We try. We leave work generally at. It's not bad. Inverness, it's 3.5 hours away, but your sort of general open mic sort of time. If you can get there at 7:30, 8, you're well in time, So we're leaving Inverness at maybe about sort of 4, half 4, getting down the road for, depending on where it is, of course. We tried to sort of go anywhere within a sort of 3.5 sort of hour sort of radius sort of thing. It's been all really easy to do. So getting down to these gigs has been all right, but it's normally we try and put a good focus on getting something to eat, and one of us will get a pint if the other one's driving, sort of like that. So but we were at the last time we were out was in Perth. Michael Hirsch show at the ballroom in Perth. Yeah, his Frontier nights. We were at one of them, and it was we stayed away that night. It was a Friday night, and so open mic sort of thing. It's generally, I don't know, Wednesday or Thursday or something like that. You're off to work the next day, all bleary eyed. You know what it's like. But it was nice to be able to stay away for the night, get out, get a few pints. So it was. Yeah, it's trying to make it work. It's not. I hate
tough.
to say it's not really that rock and roll. It's totally. It's not. Everyone, your mates at work and all that give it. So how much you get paid for it and all sort of stuff. Everyone sort of seems to think that. Yeah. They come up with this idea. You do stand-up comedy. A lot of people think. I used to think about this myself before I discovered an open mic thing was even a thing. You think comedy. You think you've got that Kevin Bridges DVD sitting in the house. That's what comedy is. That's what it is. People do think that though. You know what I mean? That's
so right.
So you get talking to your mate at work and he's like, what? You're going to Aberdeen for a gig? Oh, what do you get paid for that sort of thing? They're like,
nothing.
Nah, I'd be lucky if I get my fuel sort of thing. You know? It's but what? Going down to Aberdeen for that? That's off the head. And so, mate, you pay 500 quid plus a year for a season ticket for a football match. You travel on the road every second weekend for that, and that's golf membership and stuff like that. It's my hobby. That's it. Yeah, and
but I think they think of it as a gig, right? That like you're performing at a gig, they're not performing watching Aberdeen play like Hearts or whatever.
That's maybe true.
They're sitting in the seats pretending they're the referee, but they do. It's awful. But I think people are like, oh yeah, because a couple of my friends have been like, oh yeah, so you must be earning quite a bit from comedy now. I've seen you perform, and I'm like, no, I'm getting paid. Oh, I would do that. Well, good for you.
Well, I can see that. You're not doing it. Just shut up. No, that's, I mean, of course, you can do well and make money out of comedy, obviously, but it's I reckon it's to go full time. And actually make a living out of it. That's a right good achievement for anyone to make. Anyone anywhere. It's definitely a hard thing to do. So to be able to go out and do that, that's amazing. That would be. Yeah,
it is. I said to you earlier on, like I know, like why you class yourself as like a working class comedian. Like it's like I've not been in it, but I can see it's a grind. Like, I'm not going to name names and stuff, but I know some of the guys still live with their parents.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
After COVID and stuff, they had like their own place, but then moved back with their parents and stuff.
Oh, totally. COVID.
You're going from gig to gig, and it's a yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum. Let's fucking do it.
Totally that. I mean,
to become, I think, to get from the stages where where we all are, from like your open mic, maybe doing an opening spot or a middle.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, you might be on before the main act, etc. If you're getting to that point, but to take that next step from going from an open micer to an opener to being on a regular basis getting paid whatever it is, that's a big jump.
Absolutely, it's when you first start out as well, though, you're the new guy. You're there. You're reading off your little notepad. You're hoping you're best for a laugh and that. But it's I think the more you do step, I've spoken to a few of the guys about this before. Like it's a really accessible thing. I find like it's the next step. There's always a wee step above something you can. Excuse me. So that's my famous Burger King come out with it. That was very professional. I even turned away there. The what's I saying? About comedy. Like you start out at first, and it's very much like, oh wait, I'm out of my depth here. You see guys that are streets ahead of you, or so you think, and 2 or 3 months later, I'm creeping up them sort of thing. I'm getting closer. I'm noticing I'm getting the same sort of similar sort of gigs to what they're getting. I'm getting the same reactions to them sort of thing. I'm building my material good. I think after a year or two, I think you realise whether or not you're going to be able to make it something that you really start to enjoy sort of thing. You do see a lot of guys who, again, like you say, to not name names or anything, but I find that they're almost sort of like stuck in their same sort of just what they're, and some people are.
It's really comfortable with that. Yeah.
Absolutely, that, but I do feel that there's always some good progression sort of available, so it's nice to to sort of see that and to get recognised for your hard work. It is nice, like so yeah.
Yeah, because I see like you're all over like my social media.
Oh really?
You're really good at socials, I'd say.
Yep.
No, it's I do try and the social thing is, I like it or not, it's such a massive part of
Huge.
Of course it is. Yes, you can put one good clip out, you can whatever you like, and it's go viral for that. And you know yourself, you see TikTokers, people like that, people who have got a few good clips going and doing a tour, man. It's wild. Like
that's so true.
Insane.
Actually.
Who's that? Mammy Banter.
I've seen her. I've no idea what she does, but she's still there. She
was up in Aberdeen.
Yeah, she was at the Tivoli.
Tivoli, yeah.
I actually saw her. She started on TikTok.
Did she?
COVID. And again, it was about being a mum. And during lockdown and loads of like little skits. I think like one of her skits, I don't know if her son's actually called this, but Jimmy. And she'll be this Irish, she's Irish, so she'll be like this Irish Jimmy. And then she'll create all these characters and do skits. And obviously she got to such a level where the next, like you said, so many viral clips, I think millions of followers she's got.
There you go.
I think 2 million, don't quote me on that, but I think about 2 million on TikTok. Wow. She's written a book, and now the next logical progression is comedy, and has sold out tours. I mean...
Well, she sold out, I think, 4 shows in Aberdeen.
Yeah,
really?
She was Glasgow, but I can't remember where it was.
Well, she back to back at Aberdeen twice. Yeah. She did 2 shows the first time, 2 shows next time. Just sold them all out.
It's the social media presence, as you say. I've heard her name. I've no idea. Don't know what material she does or whatever. But I've seen her name in that.
Yeah, she played the O2 Academy in Glasgow.
Did she?
Yeah, just checked that. And then she actually sold out the big stadium in Belfast. Is it the SC?
I know the one you mean. Yeah. But is she? You said Belfast. Is she from?
She's Irish, but I don't know what part.
The comedy scene in Ireland is they're old guys. They just go and sell out. And is it the theory or something like that? Or something?
That's the one.
Is it? Yeah, I listen to a lot of your UK podcasts, like your Have a Word, your Whole World Good News, and all that sort of thing.
SSE Belfast.
SSE is
that's the one.
And they get a lot of the Irish boys on that, and the stuff they took. We sold at this arena. We sold at that arena. They're so behind their own. It's brilliant out there.
It's amazing.
Totally that. Yeah.
So good to see.
And like you're saying about the social stuff, like, and you sort of touching the skits and that, it's I think I was very conscious about first putting out clips of my comedy. I mean, you see everyone doing it sort of thing, but you think, oh, that's online now. That's gone forever sort of thing. It's not. I mean, it isn't sort of thing. It's up to your own opinion sort of thing. But I've been trying to do like my diary of a Highland sort of stuff that myself and Robert do in Glasgow Way, like that. Trying to put something a bit different out. Trying to do some skits, some little funny sketchy sort of things, and it's just trying to just get the creative juices sort of going, isn't it?
Yeah, I really like it because that's, I would say, and Sean will agree with me, like, we should be doing a lot more of that for our podcast, kind of like behind the scenes, little funny videos, that kind of thing. But I do really enjoy your ones where you're documenting, say, for example, go to Love Comedy in Aberdeen and you put your voiceovers over it. And I think it does give people, like you're saying, who are sat at home thinking that comedy is the Kevin Bridges DVD and there's nothing before and there's no after. It's you grab a mic, you get up on a stage in a big arena, you tell your little jokes, you get off, and that's it. You're actually kind of documenting that journey.
No, that's totally it. Yeah, especially I'm just trying to sort of shine a light on almost like there is people from up the north of Scotland. I mean, that wanting to come down to these places and just give it a go.
That's your goal with Monster Comedy, right? To get people up to Inverness, to highlight like we are here, like hello. But speaking of like progression and stuff, you actually have a show at the Glasgow International Comedy Festival. Do you want to talk us about that?
Well, tomorrow it'll be well in the past. Probably by the time it comes out.
You will have done it.
Sorry?
You will have done it.
Yeah, I've done it, yeah. So it went amazing. The standing ovation, it was embarrassing how long it was at the end.
Academy next week.
All the bookers have been on the phone. My phone's just red hot, honestly. No, but tomorrow afternoon in Glasgow at the our original venue, there's some problem with rock or something. Did you see that? Yeah, the venue. I won't say
I think Stuart and Scott
they were going to be there. Were they in the same venue?
I think so. I think they performed a couple of nights ago.
Was it a place called Admiral Woods? Or the Admiral Woods? Is that where they went to? Because that's where mine is now. Yeah.
I think so.
I say mine. It's myself and Robert, who his names. He should be on his couch. His times his fucking names. He said that.
Is he going down tonight?
Well, he's in Glasgow tonight. Yeah, he's going to go and see some comedy when he's down there. Fair enough. But it's myself, it's Robert, and it's another lad, Stephen Clark. He's originally from Glasgow. He's now based up in Inverness. He's been doing comedy just around, just give or take a year sort of thing. So he's a really good sort of he's
coming along.
Good art coming along. Yeah, so he's coming down with us, myself, and we've called the show McGregor versus Ross. You might have seen the post.
I did.
We've mocked it up and sort of like boxing promotion style sort of thing, a face off sort of thing. But
that's cool.
What we've done is we got the two couple of muscular bodies with the gloves on and all that, and then our wee heads superimposed on top sort of thing, with Stephen's head on the referee and the background sort of thing. So it's a little poster, but it's as it's now, it is sold out. So yeah, so it's a small venue, but to go out and sell out a show there is especially when you're from nowhere near the area at all. It's been.
Is this your first one?
First time at the festival, comedy festival. Yeah, so to go down and knowing that it's sold out is a really good boost. So Stephen's from the area, so I mean he's got a lot of people he knows down there. But you network about and that. Like, I've got some friends and family down there as well. So it's just and they've then sort of suggested, come along and see this guy, that guy. So it's nice. It does sort of. We've done a few sort of wee promo video sort of things for it. Just trying to get people talking and that. So it's been good. I've been trying to check it out, but I'm pretty sure that we're the first guys in the Highlands to go down and sell out a show there as well. So it's a nice little string to the bow sort of thing as well. So it's good. It's pretty nice. I'm trying to put the local scene in the market, like, you know.
I did the 14,000 folk in the O2. So
I know, exactly. Yeah.
First remember this.
Exactly.
Play the
come on. Who the fuck are you guys?
That's what you can say when you go up.
Yeah, on a poster. Sell out show, Ulster Arena. Tiny right underneath that here.
Mate, you should absolutely do that. Because
that's
technically not lying.
No, it's true.
How did you both kind of prepare for your upcoming show? Was there anything kind of special that you did, or
Imodium?
Did you change it? Yeah.
No, just the material I'm doing. You know, so it's all stuff that we've put together, pieced together over the last wee while, doing various gigs and open mics in the local area and beyond, as I've already said. But it's the Comedy Bothy, which is a long-standing gig in Inverness. We both run out our 20s. It's going to be for that there last month. So they went down pretty well there, which has been able to the sort of level that I'm at. It's 5-10 minutes is your sort of general, so it's nice to be able to run out the whole thing in front of a local crowd sort of thing. So
having some breathing space sometimes, just
totally
that material breathe as you're going through it. Go, I can take a pause here. Is this enough of a pause?
Absolutely, yeah. But then you also notice, just even going, you can go through it yourself and record it in the house, play it back to yourself, talking to yourself in a mirror. You only get so much, like it's. You just even go on stage and think, right, okay, well that would work better if I just done that. If I just done and then before you know it, you've added some in, you take some away. Yeah, so just doing stuff like that there, and just generally we've met up, myself and Robert and Stephen. We just done a couple of dummy runs of the show, just through sort of things. Even just going and just even doing it, and that's so hard, by the way. Just doing dry standing there in your mate's living room, right, in front of
and it's like
the other two of them, and it's. I'm like, all right, nice one. I've heard you do this about 35 times, is what you're saying now. And it's just, you're like, I know there's a laugh there, and he's just sitting there, you're going to see him slurping his coffee on the couch. Like, it's totally demoralizing. Like, but it's if you can do it there, you can do it anywhere. So it's doing just practice, essentially. Yeah.
Would have severe anxiety having to get in front of my pals and then be like, right, go for it. I know they're doing it too, but it's like, go for it, and you'd be like,
but as comedians, sometimes comedians are some of the worst people for laughing at. They just sit there like
you said that to me,
sitting there like it's a funeral. Just fucking. Is it my turn yet? It's almost like that. But,
that's the thing. So I remember, I won't name any names, but I remember performing at a gig, and I'd done the same set that I'd done numerous times, right? And it was a male comic, so I'll say that much. And I went up on stage and I did my set, and I was just staring at him, just. Blank expression.
Robert was out of order that night. I'm sorry. That was.
I won't name any names. No. I was just. It was the first time I've really been like, comics we are the worst for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get some crowds. You can tell, that crowd wasn't I literally did it just for Christmas there. It was, I had 2 shows, but 2 nights back to back sort of thing, and identical set, like you're saying, absolutely killed the first night.
Yeah.
Out and then the second night, and it was totally different atmosphere of the room. It was a big wide open room. It was, I knew when I stepped out, this is not people sort of thing.
Okay.
Went out and just, I could hear the soft jazz music from the toilets playing in the background. Honestly, I'm there telling stupid wee jokes, and I can just hear people clinking ice cubes, and it's just but it's a different audience. Is just
so when you came off, how did you feel coming off? How do you feel going on during it and off?
Well, I was opening as well, which is a tough spot as it can be. But I sort of went out. I was thinking, well, the host had gone up. He tried a bit of crowd work. He was getting nothing back from them, Just what do you do? Nothing.
I'll work.
Totally that. Yeah.
Release the lions. Here you go.
So but he done that. He went up. He went into a little bit of his material. He got on fine sort of things. So, all right, I'll bring out your first start. Up I come sort of thing. And I sort of think, well, I was full of bravado. I done this last night. I absolutely smashed it. It's fine. Right, I'm going to win them over. I'm just going to go up, and I'm quite shouty and energetic when I'm on stage, sort of thing. And I don't really need a microphone sometimes. Yours
is actually turned on.
I'll just go and fucking shout at you until you fucking give in.
People can't see. There's actually a screen between us.
So no, we're stepped down thinking, come on, it'll be a lot, it'll be fine. But it was a big crowd. There's a good 50, 60, and it was packed. But it was all tables in there. It could have been literally like me to you guys away, which is about 1.5 meters for those who can't see it on camera. Away sort of thing. And like, I think when a crowd set out, a crowd can be set out totally wrong for comedy, as you know. I mean, I love it. People are all crammed together, like you laugh. There's no, like, if you're too spread out, it's like the crowd's almost like self-conscious. I think, whereas if you're all crammed together in a darkened room sort of thing, like you find something funny, you hear that guy beside you laughing, he thinks it's funny, right, come on, let's laugh, come on, it's sort of like that.
Exactly,
but you could tell stepping out, I was like, just a big wide colour, and it was well lit, you could see it. You could see the guy at the back's fucking timing his watch, honestly, it was that bad. But we stepped out, I tried my first bit, which is quite I think the bit I did there was quite an elaborate, very sort of acted out sort of bit. And I'm doing this daft, like, sort of posh voice thing that I put on for the bit. And I'm just I'm dying on my arse just now. I can hear my own heart. I was like, my mouth's dry. My mouth's getting dry. Okay, I'm just gonna pause. You can just hear my just mouth just crackling to the mic, like, take a wee drink, let's just die. Right, and try the next bit, this is going nowhere sort of thing. So by the end of it, I'm laughing at myself. I'm just having a great time. And I can hear my mates behind me laughing, and that's like the other acts roasting. I can hear them like, oh fuck, I know it's bad now. But in fairness, I think they came around by the time the headliner came on sort of thing. They were warmed up then about an hour and a half later sort of thing.
You're like, that's too late.
Totally that. I'll go back on now.
My jokes are killed.
Exactly that. It's your fault, not mine. But no, like another time, like other gigs as well. Like, I done an open mic night once where, as you know, it can be a hit or a miss. Audience-wise, it's very much all comedians, and as we've touched already, a lot of the time we don't always, especially when it's all our mates, we've seen the stuff 100 times.
Absolutely.
Sometimes, you know. We don't always, we're not always the best audience, you know. But
we are the worst.
We're not the best. We're not the worst. We're definitely the worst. But there was the front row, and I was, there's I don't know those. There's 6 guys at the table there at the front, sort of thing. I don't know them, sort of thing. So the host is doing a bit of trying to get something out of them, a bit of crowd work. And turns out they're all Spanish. They're here on holiday. So in Inverness, imagine that coming from Madrid or something to
well, they're
Inverness.
Probably on their way to see Nessie, right?
Probably, yeah.
True.
Very true. That's all we've got with Inverness. Really
No,
I mean, I'm the local ambassador of Inverness. Come up, we've got short head and everything.
That's all we've got going for us.
The comedy's amazing. The best comedy you'll see north of Perth. North of Aberdeen. Are we north of Perth here? Yeah, we are.
Paella.
Well, that's what they came for. They went to the wrong venue. That's what was wrong. So, again, the audience's fault. You know, they're
they came for Inverness's world famous paella all the way from Spain.
Exactly, I know. Yeah. But we wouldn't go to Barcelona for a weekend and ask for haggis, would we?
No,
why would they do that?
No, I think you find we absolutely would, because you see all the time in British holidaymakers. Jonas. They've got Cadbury's here as well.
Absolutely, I know.
Every time it's like they sell. They've got such and such here too. Like
reading a copy of the Sun, El Suno or something like that.
El Suno.
I love Brits abroad because obviously we're all one of them, but it is that when they go to shops, and I feel like really bad because we're from Britain, but when you see them and you can spot them a mile away getting out their towels for the sun loungers,
that's brutal.
Straight in there getting their Fanta lemons.
I know, we're so predictable.
But how
did we get to Spain? We were. So I went on, and everyone's just eating absolute shit, and they went on just getting nothing from these guys. But there was a very big language barrier, like in fairness. So I thought, I'm going to go up. I'll try the most. This is the most hot Christmas cracker. I'm going to try and get a laugh out of them. How does a Spanish man go fishing? He casts a net. And I think, he casts a net. And that's about what I got. That laughter that you just gave me there, but it was a laugh.
Yeah, you're like,
and I thought, I've won these guys over. Yeah. And then I started doing material, and they all just started rolling fucking fags and grabbing a smoke. So that the oncoming threat of lung cancer is more appealing than my comedy to these guys. So that's when I really knew that a comedy was going to be a thing that I could get behind, you know.
Slow death.
I know, exactly. Yeah, you can just
I can just get out this like one drag.
So that set was a real drag. Come on. Come on.
There's nothing worse. Because on stage I was quite energetic. Everything was like, I had a lot of movement and stuff. And I can feel you're probably the same.
Yeah.
But there's nothing. It's like fucking somebody who's dead. Like you're giving it everything. just not moving, and you're pouring a sweat, and you're not getting zero.
Totally that. I know.
Like, nope.
No,
okay, where are you going?
Absolutely not.
Obviously, find that really like. Obviously, it's funny now, but how do you recover? Like to go back to your like original question. Obviously, when you were on the stage and it was the well lit with a guy with a watch, how do you then after that gig? Because night one you've done amazing. Night two you're like, apart from the comics laughing at you. How do you then recover for your next gig?
Well, thankfully it was only what we now March. It was December. December last year, just before Hogmanay. Like, so I'd had a few good gigs in my belt, sort of thing. Obviously a few bad gigs as well, as we all get them, sort of thing. But it was the realization that I know that it wasn't my night. It wasn't my turn. I was due a death. It was going to come at some point. Like I haven't had one for a while. Like so we came off and just sat on wall with myself pity, had a beer, went outside, got some fresh air, had another beer, had some more fresh air, but then I was alright.
But the third beer was like, it's them.
I know, third beer was like, you fucking No, it's alright. No, you know yourself. You do, like, I used to come off and especially any sort of trying new material and that and just sort of come off and just gets nothing sort of thing. And you're just like, why did I bother? That was rubbish sort of thing. You're a bit low about it all, but then recently sort of thing, you try something, it doesn't work, and it's totally just, here, that's what they're for. A lot of people do go up and use open mics, and just do, like, a lot of the time it's just material, trying to test stuff, and it's not really what it's for. I don't believe it is for trying out. I mean, yes, if you've got a gig coming up, by all means, maybe try and run out some of your stuff, just that maybe you're a little bit out of practice, whatever, that's sound. But like, I mean, it's initially for trying. It's an open mic. Literally, the boy from the bar stool in the corner, I could go and have a go. It's for just giving it a shot and trying out some new stuff. So I've started recently. I've really tried to bring new material to all open mic sort of thing recently. And when it doesn't do as well as maybe it could, I sort of you try and pick the positives from it if there's any. And sometimes you're just really clutching at straws, and you can just say, well, at least the beer after it was nice or something like that. But
exactly.
Have
you ever gone on stage having nothing?
How do you mean nothing to go up with at all?
Yeah, just like see how it goes.
Not really.
Not on a paid gig.
Well, no, but I've always tried to be quite prepared on an open mic. But something that I've been doing recently, especially with the Monster thing, it's been I've hosted. Well, we've had I think we're on our third. We've done 3 gigs. I've hosted them all, and hosting's becomes. I'm trying to really enjoying that. It's a nice little. Sound. It's
different skill set.
Absolutely. So it's really before I was going up, like the last sort of 2 gigs I hosted, I was sort of going up with a rough sort of scribble in my hand, what I was going to do, what I was going to say if I wasn't getting anything from the crowd sort of thing. But the last time I just went out and just totally I done literally one little joke to get me in with them.
Yeah.
And the rest of the night was just totally all improvised crowd. So that's brilliant to go out. It's an amazing feeling almost to come off and well, that could have gone literally any way.
Yeah.
And thankfully it went pretty well, So
yeah.
No, but it's going up and just seeing how it happens sort of thing is a lot of fun sometimes. I've not done that in open mic in fairness, but I wouldn't fancy it, I think. But it's have you, when you've done your stuff, going out and just chucking some shite at the wall, see what happens.
I've got nothing. Like some things, if I'm trying to work on something and writing's not working, I'm going, right, let's go to the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
And you start off with something like it's almost like crowd work. You go on with something to go, right, you get some sort of observation and you build on it, and then you keep going. If you go like, I've only got 10 minutes, I can talk. True. I can come up with something in 10 minutes.
Totally that, yeah.
It is almost like that pressure cooker. And then like some of my best bits have came off of not having something.
Yeah. Sorry, it doesn't make my.
It's all right.
Oh, good. No, it's fine. It's totally, I'm hearing notifications going through there. Oh yeah, shut out in my head. But no, it's doing more sort of storytelling sort of stuff. I've listened to and watched a lot of guys who are more sort of. I've been trying to.
So do you do jokes? Is that
I'd say, piece? Well, yeah. It's just anything that I do sort of, I'd say a lot of my bits are all between, I'd say they're jokes. They're between about 30 seconds, a minute and a half. They're all those bits that are sort of somehow merged together sort of thing. But I do envy a lot of your more sort of storytelling comics, because I mean, you can literally just go up. I struggle to do that sometimes because my brain is very just this thing, that thing. I sort of ramble on about stuff. Yeah. But doing it, which I think to an extent would maybe suit storytelling, so I can keep it on track. Sure. But I went up. You did say there, have I gone up without anything? But I've gone up with an idea sort of thing. I've done it.
Nice.
An idea and just try and, like I think I said it earlier, memorising a bit or getting a bit in your head. You know the start, you know the end. Let's make it funny.
What's in the middle?
Exactly. So it's going up and just feeling your way around it sort of thing. So I done it one night and went up, and it was just, it must have taken me nearly 5 minutes to get through it all sort of thing. Right. And I was just thinking, it got a good laugh at the end sort of thing, but there was not much happening in between sort of thing.
Right.
So really get that fat trimmed off it and just come back up the next time, try it out, and just before you know it, it might only be 2 minutes long, but there's a good 3 or 4 decent laughs along the way, all ending in a decent reaction at the end. So it's taken a bit. Like, you just know yourself when you write a bit, it'll be this long. By the time you got in for it once, and before you know it, it's that long, but it's actually funny this time. You know,
yeah.
No, I mean, it's because I'm the opposite of you. Like, mine's is all storytelling. Everything's like whatever stories happened that week or that month or that year or 10 years or whatever. It's like I'm building a theme inside my stories. I envy joke tellers.
Me too.
I don't know how to do a joke. Like, I don't know how to start off with like you said, a Christmas cracker joke. I have no idea. It's such a beautiful way of telling or getting people to laugh. And it's quick. Like I love watching Jimmy Carr because it's just something I'm like, it's so foreign to me.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Whereas if you got like I'm not comparing myself to guys like Kevin Bridges or Dave Chappelle or any of these guys who are like big hitters, but I can almost feel myself. Oh, right, I can feel that rhythm. I know where you're going with this. I understand the pattern.
That's right.
You're coming with it. But with joke, this like one-liners.
One-liners are wild.
You have somebody who does one-liners, like just like rapid fires, like thousands of jokes. I'm like,
oh yeah. Well, like,
wow. Like,
we touched on Martin there earlier.
Yeah.
He's just bang, 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 bang. It's just how to keep that in your head and be able to have this bang. This is what I'm going to do. That's impressive. Like I struggle to put down like my like 20 for tomorrow. Well, tonight and tomorrow will be like I think it's probably about 17, 18 jokes, and that's hard to get in the head. Like, there's some hand scrubbing. I won't lie, like, but it is what it is. But
as long as
totally.
Yeah, the audience don't know
exactly that. Yeah. Well, they do now. I've said on this. It was about 2 minutes ago.
It's all an illusion.
Some people, you see, there it's all an illusion. I had a funny one there. Like it was a friend that came to see a show, and it was like, I saw you do that before, that bit sort of thing. I said, well, well, do you do the same thing all the time? Well, not all the time, no, but a lot of the time it is the same. You know, I think some people do. It's
one and done.
Totally that. Yeah, but it's totally that. Yeah, and
because you have to work on it.
Totally that. Yeah, you need to get it together, get it into a bit and that. But you can go and see the best comic in the world, and like he's doing his tour. Like it's not like Jimmy Carr starts just tour with one set and he's doing something different every night. No, of course not. It's the same. It's a bit of material that you use, isn't it?
It's so funny that Joe, like I know a few guys who play in bands. Oh God, I would love to be able to do stand up, and then stand up comedians sometimes. Oh God, I'd love to be able to do like rock and roll or whatever it is. And they're like, well, what do you mean? And I was like, well, I says, if you were a rock, like Queen, I can't remember what gig it was. It was a Green Day gig.
Oh, yeah.
And they had Queen playing over the speakers and stuff. And everybody was singing back the lyrics that was going. So you could write a rock song, right? And you're like, you know the words. And that's
totally that.
You do the same joke twice, people are like, fuck off the stage.
I think it was a Kevin Bridges bit. He sort of done something like that. He said something like, as a comedian, you want to be putting out new stuff all the time, sort of thing.
Aye.
But then like you see people like who was it Robbie Williams or something? The guy, Angel starts playing, and he goes, oh come on Glastonbury, you know this one, sort of thing. Imagine if I started going, so I was walking in the street, come on, you know this one. You would never get that, would you?
But in fact, even worse, like if you're dying in your hole, I've had friends who are in the audience. Comedian friends.
Aye.
And they obviously, again, they know you're set down better than you do sometimes.
I know.
And I'm pretty good at waffling my way to try and get back to where I was starting. And they're like, it's such and such. I'm like, great, thanks very much. Get to the end. I
don't expect anything. You can do it. Come on. Oh, it's horrible. I know. I had that myself. What was it? It was a really, like, I try, as I said, like, it's not a script, but you sort of, there's obviously a rhythm, yeah. But I was doing a bit which is very sort of acted out, very sort of shouty, sort of very, as you can maybe get that impression, but I was doing that, and I was so in the head, I was saying, bam, it's this, it's that, oh, fuck, what is that again? Sort of thing, I started like that. I started like from the back of the crowd. It's that. I said, it's that.
You're like hype man in the the
totally that, yeah.
Secret weapon.
Yeah, absolutely. You get ahead of your own material as well. Do you do a mind map? I do a mind map. So I don't know keywords I keep in my head, like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, blah 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 blah. So I know I have to get from Coca-Cola to Pepsi. This is the story. Then to link it back is going to be Pepsi. Then it's going to be Pepsi Max, and then da-da-da.
I don't know, but that's very interesting. No, I did see it. I seen a map do it recently. He had like it might be something very similar. He had like a sheet and he had little things drawn on it. He was just drawing, and he was literally these little drawings, stuff referring to his jokes. And what are you doing now, sort of thing? He said, well, if I can put it in, I don't know, something like that. And I said, all right, fair enough. Whatever works for you, sort of thing. Yeah. For me, what works for me is driving along in my van, trying to go to work and just shouting stuff in the rearview mirror at myself, sort of thing. But it's totally works. It's totally just whatever works, isn't it?
Yeah, like we had, we were talking about Stuart Leon.
Oh, yeah.
And Scott Graham, who I think you're meeting tonight, right?
Ah, Scott, he's on tonight. Yeah.
We had them on the podcast and they were talking about they went to visualization.
With Jojo.
And and you basically close your eyes and you walk yourself through a room.
Keep going on for pee.
Yeah, you walk yourself through a room.
Right.
And you have to visualize what in that room as it relates to your material. I think that was
as it relates to your material.
Yeah, so you would so if you had a joke about Elvis, for example, you'd kind of close your eyes and picture yourself in your living room, but familiarize it with your surroundings. And you would picture like Elvis sitting on your living room. So they went to this really weird, sounded weird to me.
I can see Elvis walking past the tripod, held together with tape.
So they had that, but I just think it's kind of interesting how everyone learns their material.
I know it's differently. Well, I do really struggle to get stuff in my head a lot of the time, but I think a lot of it is just that confidence to go out there. Like I know the bit, and like, but I find even if I go up, see, like even at an open mic where like I've got it, I may have it in a pad or on my phone written down word for word, you know.
Do you ever perform to like your like family?
Oh no. Like my wife, but obviously we're married, love her to bits, but it's fucking like I feel if I know she's in the house or I can hear her walking, I'll go up to the bedroom or whatever, and if I'm doing a gig that night and I'll have her run through my stuff.
Yeah.
If I hear her moving in the house and like, it's almost,
oh
no, I totally, and I don't know why that maybe feels ridiculous. She
knows you do comedy. Obviously,
there's not a dirty secret. I know it's not my dirty secret. No, there's not an intimate she's not seen this. I love her to bits like that, but it sounds so mental. But I'll go up in front of a crowd. But she's going tonight. She's going tomorrow night. She's seen me do comedy, but it just feels. I think practicing a bit, it feels so vulnerable for some reason. You know, you're not sure like. I'm trying to get this. I think when I'm going through something, I'm always trying to convince myself.
Yeah. I totally get it. I went down. Sean doesn't like performing from his way.
Oh no, maybe come back when he comes back. But I went down this morning. And our alarm was set for. We're just sitting there about hearing our wives hearing us perform when we're in the house and stuff like that. So I was saying that if I'm going through a bit of material or that, like I find that I don't know why it is. I'll go up to the bedroom in the house or something like that when she's say she's in the house as well. I'll hear her moving about. And oh no, I feel totally vulnerable for some reason. I feel like if I'm rehearsing a bit, but then she's going to be there tonight. She's going to be there tomorrow night. She knows my stuff. She knows what I do, but it feels totally alien and weird for some reason when we're in the house. Yeah, I think Shannon asked, "Do I perform in front of my family and that?" But it's totally no. But
I can't do it.
I don't know why it is. It just feels. Yeah. I've even gone through like apprentice of mine at work. Like he's seen me before a good few times, and I've actually said to him, we're in the van, and I've gone through a bit, just said, here, what do you think of this sort of thing?
Yeah.
And he's going, that's shite most of the time, but one time out of 10, you'll say it's quite good. Exactly that. And the shite ones I try. Yeah, the ones I But we were going, we're saying about,
in front of your like family.
I can't, it's totally, I feel like it's, you know, even just, no. Not really, no. No, I'm sure. No, I don't know.
If you could have any like comic or anyone in general, alive, dead, to come to a gig in Inverness, who would it be?
Well, I like to think that with the sort of thing that we're trying to do is get, we're trying to keep, well, what I watch, a lot of comedy I watch or listen to on podcasts is very all guys. I sort of say I like comedy to be sort of feel accessible. Mm-hmm. So anyone that I sort of listen to is anyone like decent level sort of UK circuit sort of stuff. So I'd love to get like anyone like say Vittorio Angeloni, Mike Rice. You've got these sort of boys. You've got your MacArthur Boyds. You've got your Susie McCabe's. You got all this sort of anyone who's sort of really smashing it at a sort of UK level is what I look up to and think. Yeah. So whereas as it may be amazing to have a massive name. A massive guy over from the States to come over and perform. I feel that's not what we're. I mean,
they're always going to sell it.
Yeah,
exactly that. No, exactly that.
Yeah,
no, so I would love to. It's people that I look up to as cheesy that sort of sounds.
Yeah.
You know, like even I think you're whoever it may be. You know, get these guys at a decent sort of level. Circuit comics in the UK, you know, that's the guys that I look at. Obviously, I look up to your big names, but I'd love to get something like that. Yeah, nice. Absolutely, yeah. So,
but what's the podcast that Frankie Boyle and Christopher?
Here
Comes the Guillotine.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. They were in Aberdeen recently, weren't they? Yeah, they sold it out. I think that was really busy. Yeah.
Great.
No, we've seen. Well, that's sort of got me onto that train of thought. It was MacArthur Boyd and Roscoe McClellan was supporting them in Upstairs, another good venue in Inverness. Yeah. It's primarily a sort of a music sort of venue, but they've also got a great wee stage. They can set that many ways. It's really good. So it's a big sort of techno place basically. But they also get bands in. Is that what they get bands?
Nobody told Inverness that techno's dead.
Well, not techno. Maybe I'm just being an absolute fucking dad here.
Maybe techno's not dead.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe Inverness is just fucking out behind.
It's the European hub for techno.
Well, that's I don't know. What would you call it? I don't know. What would you go rave? What's rave?
I don't know.
If someone says the word rave, I just see my dad talking about glow sticks or something like that. You know, But
how old are you?
I'm 31.
I see.
So my dad's 60. Well, he's 60 in July.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dad.
Only child.
No, I got a sister as well. She's in Glasgow. She actually, she was doing. She's very much in the sort of dance music industry, so she's going to probably laugh at me talking about. Yeah, she does those doof music, you know. So
she done that before. Your head didn't move whilst your arms are moving. That was
my head didn't move. I just made for it. So
it's in the family.
She attends all the rave caves, you know. No, but she does a lot of work down there. And she's self-employed now. She's got her own thing doing like sort of marketing design, photography. She's editing herself, so she's really made a career. It's going for my thing. I love it. I like to see people. I used to sort of. It's very easy when you go to college, like being a sparky or being a journalist or whatever. You look at some people that go to uni and you sort of think, oh, look at this. What the fuck? You have to study marketing. What are you going to market? Shut up. Go and get a hammer and hit something like me. But when you look like someone like my sister, I slagged her up when she went off and done whatever degree she was doing. That's about it is. But now to see her, she's totally
you're like, oh, you're going to market me.
Exactly that. So, no, I've actually asked her very kindly to take some photos tomorrow night. So that's come full circle. So she's gonna do that hopefully. So yeah,
when people are doing something that they want to do. It sounds weird when they're smashing something that makes them happy. And they've got total passion about it, and they're actually making a living in it. I'm like, just like very similar to yourself. Like I'm like, can I get a job? Do a fucking art degree?
No,
idiot.
I know.
Go and get a real. And then when you get to your late 20s, early 30s, you're like, they're chasing the dream here. And I've just got so much respect for folk who just chase the dream. And even if they don't, like, what's your man's name? Sir Ian McKellen. He didn't make it until he was in his 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, and he was just grinding away. What's your man's name? He was in Game of Thrones.
I've not seen him. I don't know. No. I'm so bad with TV shows and films and that. I've not seen Game of Thrones.
Who did he play in Game of Thrones?
Was it the guy with the axe?
One of the Lannisters.
Oh, Jamie?
No, the other one, the wee brother.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name?
Hang on.
Tyrion.
Yes.
Tyrion Lannister. So the actor who plays him, he'd said he was like, from this day on, I'm going to be a working actor. Right. And they're like, but you don't make. He's like, no, I'm going to be
Peter Dinklage.
I've heard that name.
And he was like, I'm going to be a working actor. Doesn't matter how much I make, I am now
he's gonna make,
a working actor. And he just grinded away, and be like, oh gosh, I wish I could do stand up or be a comedian or. Oh yeah, well you can be it. You just have to like. It's just a grind to get to the next stage. You've got to be willing to take the L's with these things.
Yeah,
you know? At least your sister, like she's got
play like
done a uni degree, gone down the road, and now she's doing it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it could be total shite. I think it was. I mean, it was on one of these things, a black and white photo with white text over the top, motivational stuff. But I think it was Ricky Gervais. Did he not? I think he only started went full time when he was like mid-late 30s or something now. When did he go through? But he got paid off my job and he got a good whack of money. He's like, well, here, I've got this amount of £1,000. I'm going to make this happen for a year, see what happens. And it's just taking that jump to go. There's so many stories of different comics doing. Yeah, definitely. You're going to fact check that and say, shut up, Marty Sartre, it's 20.
No, you're absolutely right.
There you are. Yeah, I thought it was
37 or something.
Correct.
No way, there you go.
Yeah,
You've seen that same motivational quote as me. That must be
He's celebrating 26 years since being made redundant and taking a chance on becoming a comedian aged 37. He's now 63.
There you go. See, 63. That Hollywood Botox does wonders for you, doesn't it?
Absolutely. But
look at this. I've got like a pie in my head when I do this.
some filler.
But it's I
sometimes you've got to take a risk.
Totally, yeah.
Constantly. I think you've just got to keep going at it. Like, I feel like having my daughter and stuff, I'm like, Amy's like, I wonder what she'll be like when she grows up. I'm like, I just want her to be happy. I want her to just do stuff that makes her happy.
Yeah. When I was like sort of started, I was at an age where I was in 4th year in school. You pick your
subject.
You pick your subjects and that. Yeah, didn't really know what I would do. Pick just I like that. I picked PE and a few other things. PE, graphic design, and then just throw darts at a wall, see what I get, sort of thing. And I knew I wanted to leave. I didn't really want to leave. Be in school. I wanted to leave school, but my mum and dad were very of the sort of mind of, well, you need a plan. You need to absolutely. I mean, fair play to them. They sort of were like that. You're not just going to go and leave to do nothing, sort of thing. Yeah. So, I've not got anything. I don't really know what I want to do, sort of thing. Yeah. But I think for someone to know, it's great for people to know what they want to do and have that sort of drive behind them to go towards this sort of thing. Because being honest, I don't think I don't go to work as a sparring and go, yes, another day of this. But don't get me wrong, if I was,
but you have somebody to keep you happy.
Well, exactly. Well, I see people full-time comics or so many guys, but there's so many. You used to be able to make it in comedy. It would be like Michael McIntyre, you got a DVD at Christmas, your granny buys it, puts it in your stocking. Yeah. That's how you become a big comedian, big household name. But now with stuff like you guys are doing your podcast, like there's so many, you can self-made stories of making it in comedy. Like look at those, the Half a Word guys and that. They started just doing a podcast from one of the guys' bedrooms and they got a massive podcast.
That's so true. There's so many more opportunities.
It's just not giving it, just don't give up with it.
Yeah.
Totally that. But it's like, what's that?
That's what Sean says all the time. Don't just keep going.
Keep going. No, it's even like when you're doing an open mic and you're eating shite. Just keep going. Just keep going. You all sick and you all listen.
Even if they're rolling their fags in the middle.
Exactly.
You cigarettes. I don't know if you can say that anymore. Anyway, cigarettes, whatever. Yeah.
I know. That's can't call that anymore.
Yeah. I should know about it.
I'm coming down.
Yeah.
I'm coming down from the Highlands. My old man talk here. I'll be saying all sorts.
So, what are your plans for the Aberdeen Fringe this year?
Aberdeen Fringe.
Are you at the Fringe this year for Aberdeen?
Well, I was there last year, and Ray, who runs it, Ray and Debbie, they both run it. But Ray put in, we've got a chat, and he says, "Well, everyone who's to get, I think it's October. When was it last year?
It was July last year, right?
July, yeah. And I think he's planning, October holidays this year, sort of time. So I'm planning, obviously the Glasgow Festival show. Is my longest sort of set I've done, sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's 20 plus. Well,
and that's an achievement in itself.
Exactly that. Yeah. So my goal for that is to get it'll be my name on the show. I'll have someone with me. Whether it's someone from Inverness, I don't know. Maybe someone's going to come along who's going to become. Get a good sort of bit behind them, sort of thing. A bit of support, someone that I meet out on the road doing gigs or that, but whoever it may be, maybe someone from Aberdeen, I don't know. But go up and just do it, which is very much the done style, you know yourself. Go up, do a little bit of get the crap with the crowd, introduce yourself, sort of thing, bring on a support, and then I maybe come on to try half an hour, 40, if I can get that in me, that'd be great. Yeah, that's my goal. Like, cool. Watch this space, it probably won't happen, but I'll have half an hour, 4 people supporting me, I'll go and do 5 at the end.
Absolutely, mate.
But I'll keep going, as you say, that's it.
So some wrap-up questions for you.
Yeah, sure.
Some quick fire.
Go.
Is there anything you want our audience that we've not talked about so far to know about you?
Know about me?
Or anything in general?
Anything in general? I've let a few secrets in the bag. I play the bagpipes. I do this. I don't know. That's not really real. I play the O2. Yeah, that's it. No, I mean, just give us that.
Okay, so where? So maybe you can answer this one. Where can people follow Monster Comedy? And find out about your upcoming gigs?
Absolutely, it's at Monster Comedy INV Inverness on all Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, yeah. And myself, Marc Ross Comedy, Mark spelled with a C. Yeah, that's
important to tell you.
Well, it is. I don't know if there's a Mark with a K comedy. I just need to see that. But I'll take them both.
You should be like...
Just trademark them both really quick.
Trademark them. I see you did there.
Yeah.
Come on,
Trademark.
So, no, just not get us on all them. Marc Ross Comedy and Monster Comedy INV, yeah, and just, be hopefully posting, I post heaps of shite on mine, but we'll need to get some more announcements on Monster, so.
I would say definitely follow Mark on socials, because he always does really cool behind-the-scenes videos that are really energetic and quite upbeat and happy and positive, so that's good to see.
Yeah, you definitely feel... I always
you're quite a positive person,
like energy on your posts and stuff, and like, again, I thought Shannon knew you, but she doesn't. And Shannon thought I knew you, but we don't. But like, you've got such good energy.
Social media, isn't it?
Yeah,
you can see that I've got guys on my Facebook that I've maybe not seen since school, and you see them in the street, and they've got, how's things, mate? I've got a 4-year-old now. I was like, I know. I saw it was her 4th birthday. That's on Facebook. You feel like you know people when you might not even know them, do you?
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Okay, and then if someone is thinking about trying stand up, what advice would you give them?
Being totally honest, just try it. I went to, as I say, like you said, Jupiter's there. I went to watch some of their gigs. I thought, I could do this. I put it off. I actually contacted the guy that was running that workshop. I put it off. I didn't do it. And I probably started about 3, maybe 4 years after. Well, it was pre-COVID. I thought about starting it, well pre-COVID. And then after COVID, I started. And so, literally just try it. What's going to happen? The worst thing that's going to happen is a group of people who don't know you, and if you decided they will never see you again, it's just going to, or you can go back, try it. Everyone's supportive to my knowledge, to my experience, everyone's very supportive. Good. So just absolutely give it a shot, and just if you don't try it, you might regret it.
Exactly. Exactly. Look, Mark,
thank you so much.
Cheers for coming in. Yeah. We'll do this again. In fact, you've now got my brain going a wee bit.
Well, let's maybe plan something between you guys and Monster. You can come up and do a record, do some sort of live thing.
Mate,
that would be amazing.
Something like that.
You're probably exactly what we need in order to
motivational.
Well, there you are. Well, get you. Why don't you can maybe speak about getting, if we're going to get this old mic going, you can maybe try some material, meet the guys, come up, and we can see what happens. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, guys. I really enjoy it. First time doing a podcast. So
I know.
Excuse me if I looked in the camera. Forgive me.
Lights in your face.
I know I'm sucking. If I look that way, I can see lots of dots. I don't even know who that is.
You've got autism or something. Go,
I can't be honest on that. I can't see your eyes.
That's right.
Someone's got full beam there.
Yeah, it's fine. Keep looking at those lights, and I look more like Charlize Theron and not Sloth from the Goonies. That's the better way to go.
Oh well,
thank you so much.
Yeah, cheers. We'll do this again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
you guys. Bye. Hello.
Token one for the team. With Shannon and Sean talking about life and everything in between. The token ones see it differently. Yeah, token one for the team. This is Shannon and Sean keeping things light. The token ones in the group. That's right. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride right now.